Hey, it's Rich Strani here with IT Expo, the Tech Super Show in sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's February 2025. Eric Vaughan is with us. He is the CEO of IgniteTech and GFI Software. His company is an important part of one of the co-located events at this Tech Super Show, and it is the Generative AI Expo. He's been a big part of that event since the founding of it a few years ago, and he's a visionary in this space, and we're thrilled to have him on the program. How are you, Eric?
Rich, it couldn't be better, and thanks again for hosting such a fantastic show. And you're right, it is sunny Fort Lauderdale. It's fantastic for all the people that are in snowy climates to be down here. I think it's an added draw for the people that come, but it's always such a great show.
You know, I think of it in two ways. I think of it as a sunny outlook for the future, as well as the physical sun that we feel when we leave the convention center, as opposed to the frostbite in Connecticut that I felt last week. And I think, you know, you had an amazing keynote where you touched on the tremendous opportunity that lies ahead of organizations. And I was hoping you could tell us a little bit more about that on this interview.
Sure, yeah, I love that segue. You're right, the sunny outlook, the metaphorical sunny outlook. Has there ever been, both of us have been in the tech industry for some time, has there ever been a more exciting time than right now?
So this event started as a voice over IP show, and back at the beginning of voice over IP, there was a tremendous opportunity to take massive phone bills and reduce them. So it was a real cost savings technology that kind of blossomed into video and blossomed into work anywhere. But it had a lot of bumps in it because in the early days there was no revenue. AI actually for a lot of companies is already generating revenue, it's already generating productivity gains. So I'm going to say that revolution that I saw between 98 and 2004, there were a couple bubble bursts in between. I think this is 50 to 100 times greater in opportunity because of the breadth of technology AI touches, if that makes sense.
It does. You know, I've said several times, there was that movie a couple of years ago, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's actually what's happening right now with AI. AI is affecting every sector: health, science, arts, technology, consumer, business, government, research, or you know, every walk of life. And the opportunity has never been greater. But what's so important is if anybody thinks that it's going to walk in the door and just present itself and make it work for them, that isn't the way it works. So right now our siren call is especially to the CEOs and leaders of organizations around the world to really get invested in this and lead the charge for their team in a way that dramatically shapes and changes their future. Because it's coming whether anybody knows it or not. And they're going to wake up and say, what happened? We're trying very hard to get that out there so people don't wake up and say, what happened?
So your company is growing fast. It's an integral part of the AI space. When the viewers are watching this, they're probably wondering, how can you help, and who is the right target, or who is the right company that can be helped? So maybe you can help shed light on those people watching. When should they reach out? Should the CEO reach out, the director of IT? How does that work exactly?
Well, so I changed all of my handles in social at the start of 2024. I am now the Gen AI CEO on X and everywhere you find, because I wanted to make it simple for people to reach out in a non-commercial way, to not think that, oh, he's the CEO of IgniteTech or GFI, he's interested in selling products. Of course we are interested in selling products, but we're interested in a lot more than that. And I am delighted to engage with CEOs all over the world to have this conversation at such a pivotal time. So that would be how they would get in touch on a generic way.
And so the idea there is that, you know, you're going to holistically talk to them about the things that you can do to help and try to bring their company into this amazing age of enhanced productivity, profitability, and competitiveness. Because frankly, you know, I think we know at this point, if you're not addressing AI and if you're not implementing AI and your competition is, what are they going to have? They're going to have the ability to move more quickly. They'll be able to lower their costs, and that is going to put you at a competitive disadvantage. And so the company that is last to adopt AI is at a huge disadvantage, right?
The phrase that we keep using with everybody, including CEOs, is take a temperature check. If you think you're behind right now, that's great. If you don't think you're behind, you're toast. You're really going to get run over from behind. And the problem is we have a lot of people who don't believe that yet. They don't know it. They see this as another one of our tech fads, right, that will fade. It's just not true. And in addition to having the pleasure of leading an amazing AI-first team at IgniteTech and GFI Software, I spent a lot of time last year on the road proselytizing like I never have, and seeing a lot of CEOs who are glassy-eyed right now over the tech that's surrounding all of this. They don't understand it. They don't know what it is. So what we're doing, our strategy as a software company, is to not talk about the tech that's behind it. No one talks to us and hears LLMs and agentic and vector. They don't hear that. That's what we're doing, but they don't hear it. What they hear is we're trying to enable humans to benefit from AI software. And we've got a couple of different strategies, one of which was a brand new product that I used your show once again to issue a global press release at exactly the time I took the stage on Tuesday announcing our latest product, which, by the way, was written in less than 8 months, most from the ground up, brand new, by a team that didn't work for me a year ago. I mean, I love the story. It's a true story, but that it shows what you can do, right? We've changed the game completely.
That's amazing. And you mentioned agentic AI, and obviously CEOs may not want to get in the weeds, but this past weekend I decided to start using ChatGPT Operator, and it is an agent, and I started it with some fairly complex tasks, and the promise of what these agents can do for organizations is not understood. And I think the sooner they can speak to someone like you and learn and get involved, try it themselves, the better off they're going to be. Because again, you're talking about these technologies that are going to allow productivity to leapfrog like we never had the ability to do before. And productivity, we think of it in silos. I think I have Microsoft Excel, I have Microsoft Word. And the technology we buy it's purpose built, and that's kind of how it's been. But now with agents that are intelligent, the flexibility in task automation is something that is only limited by the creator of the person who sets that task. And that is something we never had before. There are tasks which are beneficial to corporations, but we never asked anyone because it didn't make sense to ask a person for whatever reason. A lot of those things are now going to get done by these AI agents because it's inexpensive and it's worth trying. So I think we're going to see this golden age of just creativity because of AI. Business creativity, and we're this show. You're the first to hear this. You guys are all the first to hear this. We're going to be focusing on the autonomous enterprise because I think that's what the future is going to be because of what's happening. Do you agree? What do you think about that?
Well, I think a lot of things. Number one, I love the idea of agents and what you said, right? But the key is, I bet when you started using Operator, what you didn't do is write a 5-word sentence and expect great results from something, right? And this is kind of the advice we keep giving to everybody. Everybody's got to put the work in here. Everybody keeps showing up saying, I hear this thing can just do this for me. Go do it. That's not the way it's going to work, right? We have to give it the knowledge. We've got to give it the clear direction. We have to guide it. But that's the vision. The vision is once we do that, now they are, to your words, running around doing all these things for us. They are. And they should. And so our company, one of the ways that we were able to create 2 brand new pieces of software, 2 enterprise class software products, AI first software products from the ground up in 8 months, is because we transform our company first through AI first principles. So the majority of our people aren't doing the mundane anymore. We have AI doing that or assisting us with that, which freed up time for the best version of ourselves. That's the promise that everybody needs to embrace.
It's very exciting. I can't wait for the future. And to your point, this task that I set Operator to do, I was noticing, I was putting some names in a database based on criteria. I saw it and I was watching it while I was on a Zoom call. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And all of a sudden, it's putting in lots of good names that looked like they were real people. Then it put in a John Doe and a Jane Smith, and I paused it and I said, why did you do that? And it said, sorry. And I asked it again, these people don't exist at the company. And then it said, I used hypothetical data. And so now all of my prompts say, do not use hypothetical data, because who on earth thought that this was even a possibility, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the experience. And so what happens is, especially at this early adopter phase, I mean, we're in a gold rush right now. I mean, everybody's heading west and trying to get that gold. We don't know who's going to get there. It's fascinating. People have that experience and they go tell it, I tried AI and it didn't work. And that's not, no, you didn't do the work. So you did the work. I now have conversations with AI where I'll say, because it has this unbelievable affinity to agree with you. And so I said, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that we went deep enough on this? And please do not just say yes because I asked you a question. Feel free to say no, not at all. Or even better, if you are missing information in order to answer that question, then ask me. I am not looking for you to just confirm what I want. It's called confirmation bias, right? That's the work that we have to do. But we do that with people. We always have. We've done it with trainees, interns, first years that join our company. We give them kind of the ethos of who we are and what we believe. We've got to do the same thing here. So
yeah, it's funny. I said I likened the operator. I did a tweet today, and I said it's like a PhD toddler. It's like a PhD with no experience. And I said, oh, it's like a college professor.
Yeah. That's a better. I heard somebody at your show say it's the smartest, dumbest assistant I've ever had. But I like that. Yeah, PhD toddler. That's exactly right. But the promise is there. We just have to work at it, and it's that one of those, anybody that's starting to do this, you'll get that, if you'll do the work, you'll get an aha moment. You're like, oh, the potential is phenomenal. So, we're a software development house. I keep saying we wrote these software, and wrote both of these software products in the last 8 months, but AI wrote a lot of it. We didn't sit down and type a lot of code. We used AI coding tools and guided the creation, and in many cases, people are writing code in languages they don't know because they don't need to. That's the mundane. They are guiding the vision. What should it do? How should it behave? How should it look? Oh no, we need to adjust that. And this is available in every sector, whether it's research, scientific research, pattern recognition, and medical imaging, right? I mean, it's not going to be enough to say, AI, look at that scan and spot cancer. Well, you can't. Train it on what cancer looks like. Give it lots of data. Guide it, shape it, push it. Now you'll have this amazing, we're seeing this already, AI that is detecting cancers based on excellent pattern recognition, right? So that's it. You got to do the work.
I love it. So how do people find out more, get a hold of you?
Well, our websites are IgniteTech.ai. We're changing everything to AI, even our domains, right? And GFI.ai, and we're all in on this. We're either going to be completely wrong and we're going to blow up and go away, but I don't think so. I think we're proving our point, and we've got so many exciting things happening. Announced at your show is a new product called Eloquent.AI, which is an email-based persona that is the answer to the problem of when you do a marketing blast to try to create leads to hundreds or thousands of people. How good are you at responding? Well, Eloquence responds in 5 minutes or less, which all of the data shows if you respond to a lead in 5 minutes or less, the conversion rate goes up sky high. In 160 languages, with perfect grammar, with excellent knowledge, and every single email is a bespoke creation. It's not like it's templates that are going out. People have been using it for months, and when they find out it's AI, we've been using it for like technical support questions. When they find out it's AI, we had one of our partners look at us on a video call and say, Sally is AI? They didn't know, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing and exciting. It's so exciting. We wrote it for ourselves first, and then we commercialized it, right? So the other product that we've shown here on the floor is a product called MyPersonas. And MyPersonas is a clone, a video voice clone of you, of Rich Tarani, who next year for your show, there'll be a little button on your website. People will click on it, and they'll talk to Rich and ask you questions about your show. All the questions they normally ask through other channels today. You'll answer it in person as the clone, but if it can answer the question, it'll go tap you on the shoulder in a mobile app or an email and say, Rich, a question came in that I couldn't answer. You'll answer it, it'll go back and update that session, but then it will also update the knowledge of the MyPersona, of your MyPersona. That next time that question comes in, you won't get pestered. So you are incented to answer those questions because fewer and fewer and fewer questions come in. And I know a show like this is full of nothing but repetitive questions. When does it start? What are the show floor hours? How do I order carpet? Where's the agenda? I mean, I know what it's like. It's crazy.
Boy, do you know this business.
Well, events are always like that, and unfortunately, just a true fact, people don't read. It's not like you haven't put the information out there in emails and websites and documents and God knows what. They just don't read it. They want to ask.
Thank you so much for being here.
Rich, thank you again. Thanks for running such a first-class show. It's why we keep coming back. Thank you.
Appreciate that.